Hey everyone. So, not all dressed up like I would normally be for Miah-Pinion. But I had this interaction. As most of you know, I'm actually a professional drummer as my main thing. And, I use a multitude of platforms to try to get gigs. The best one, of course, is networking with friends and things like that, because people I know their credentials. I know that they want the best for me. I know that everybody's trying to do positive things in the community. But I do some Craigslist and some other things like that, so I do get some unsolicited emails at times. So yesterday I get an email from a guy named Ben Jackson, who he's a guitar player, songwriter, I guess. I don't know the guy, never heard from him in my life, never seen any of his stuff. So I get an unsolicited email that says, "We are two guitarists and a vocalist looking for a pro drummer and bassist. We use all Mesa equipment, so having good tone is a plus. As for a drummer, looking for equipment and the ability to write original drum tracks in the style of hard rock is always a good thing." Whatever that means. "Looking to tour the U.S., so we're looking for people with talent, equipment, and the ability to tour. So if you have a day job that's not a professional musician, this might not be the gig for you." Well, if they have a daytime job that is a professional musician, they probably aren't going to want this gig anyway then, right? But we'll get into that more in a second here. In terms of our endeavors, to make the big time and live the dream. The sky is the limit. We're looking at entering the studio. We have the slot open for a studio drummer and bassist. If you want to be on the album and throw in for professional studio time. So these are guys looking for a drummer and a bassist, but they want you to pay to record their stuff, that they want you to play it their way. Okay, hold on. We're looking, and this is important for later, we're looking to sign a contract for a touring drummer and bassist and everything that comes with being a professional rock star / musician. So first of all, they talk about wanting a studio drummer and bass player, but then immediately in the next sentence go on to talk about they want to sign a contract for a touring studio drummer and bassist. And yet there's no talk about any sort of compensation or anything. Moving on. This is in the first email. "You check a clip of one of our unreleased clips below to see how our originals sound professionally. If you click the same channel, you will find about 20 plus originals in low quality format minus the drums, and a link to my covers channel. We are open to suggestions for the writing and recording process if you are inducted into the band. But first, send your links, studio recordings, or live clips if you wish to audition." Okay, they hit me up. They checked out my website that simply says that I'm a drummer available, and then it has my website listed, and it says my bio, my pics, my rates, my resume, and my credentials are on that. It's as simple as that. They never, and still to date, to the point of writing, doing this, they have never gone to my website and checked it out. And they're about to make all sorts of assumptions. I should say he, because he talks about a band, but then it's always Ben, and he makes a lot of singular references to himself in this. So, moving on, we play in LA, so if you have a house or practice space, that's a huge plus. We need to hear your creativity on our original material, so the ability to record your drum or your bass or drums is required. Please, no phone or karaoke videos. Thanks. But he's talking about go check out my lo-fi, low-quality stuff here. But don't send them any low-quality stuff. And again, they're not trying to pay you, but they want you to spend the money to do all this for them. Have their originals. So I respond with 2 sentences. 1, how much money are you offering? And then 2, please send a copy of the contract that they alluded to earlier. This is where it gets interesting. So the next response I get, none. You audition. If you're better than everyone else, then you get the job. If you suck, you get nothing. So again, nothing about getting paid. He goes around that the whole time. No plans for that. So this is essentially a parasite who he wants to suck something from these players, but really is giving them nothing. So, my response to that, thank you for your prompt response. I am a professional, as I'm sure you could tell by my website's content, bios, pics, resume, videos, credentials. That being the case, duly applied, as you already have a contract created, I would kindly ask you to send the contract in order for me to evaluate if this endeavor is suitable to both parties. Thank you. I appreciate your time and consideration, and I look forward to receiving the paperwork. Sincerely, Maya. To which response, the response I get is, we didn't look at your website. We're not looking for a hired gun. That's not how auditions work. You listen to the band. You like what we do. You audition. No contract, buddy. You audition. Then we see if you seem to fit our music. Then we may offer you a position. We hear you and everybody else in our music. Then we decide who we think is the best fit. That's an element of creativity and personality that goes with our band and our music. You want a shot? Then you submit a demo. No excuses, buddy. Nothing personal. That's how this business works. Or you can keep doing studio work on the side for pocket change, and we'll take center stage and live the dream. So here's the thing. So he knows nothing about me, says that he never checked out my website, doesn't know me from his own fucking inner asshole. In fact, he probably knows his inner asshole better because he's seen, well, I won't go there. But so he's made all these assumptions about who I am, talking shit, still never talks anything about compensation for the band or how he's going to take care of anybody. Doesn't mention anything about really any path for success other than living the dream and being rock stars. Anyway, good luck, no bad blood. So my reply, real short, oh, and why didn't you check out the website first? Seems like the first logical step. Which he replies, hey douchebag, that's just my cover channel, retard. Shut up, dick face. You're on the same website, so fuck you. You have, investors. Okay, grammar, dude. Learn fucking grammar. If you're gonna talk shit on somebody, spell check it before you send it. Investors, and you can't write your own songs or read music. So watch your tongue before ejaculating your ego all over somebody. We don't want you. Okay, you failed the audition. Now quit messaging me, you freak. Okay, well, let's go through that real quick. So first of all, he admits that he never looked at my website, but then he makes all these assertions about me playing on the street later, about not having credentials, about not being able to read music and shit like that. You know, I mean, I don't know. Some of you checking this out may not know, but over on the wall here, that's my bachelor degree and my professional and journeyman certificate in drums. And, there's a lot of people with a lot higher education. Point being, I know how to read music. I did my 4+ years in college, and even thinking about a master's degree. So the fact that this dude, without knowing anything about me, would start talking, just saying this, is dumbfounding. I mean, where... it's like, is he actually a troll? Is he not a guy that actually has a band? But luckily I have his, I can see his Facebook right there, and he's a real guy. He's just he's a dipshit. Anyway, let me keep going, because it gets better and better. We're not done. So at this point, this is the end of the night last night that he wrote that about, now quit messaging me, you freak. So at that point, I didn't respond. I thought it was over. And then this morning, he writes, we don't need your help, and your suck as fuck aren't getting my credentials. Again, spell check. We don't need musicians. We are who we are. Well, why the fuck are you sending an unsolicited fucking email to a drummer with an ad on Craigslist if you don't need musicians? Okay, moving on. We are who we are. If you want to hop on this train, you play by our rules. The only logical step is finding the right person in a sea of morons. So he's now calling all the drummers and bassists who are coming to it, the vast majority, morons. So most of you checking this out, because if you're made it this far in the video, you're probably one of us, morons. You're a smart guy, man. Dude, you're probably winning favors everywhere you go. Okay, so moving past the sea of morons. Like you, we are doing the smart thing, finding who's committed to a long commitment that isn't ranked with failures, bad attitudes, and wannabes. We don't need to explain ourselves to you. It is what it is. Well, no, if you're going to get people to come and work for you and you want them to buy on, especially if you're not paying them anything and you're asking them to pay you to do your studio time and you're asking them to give you a place to rehearse, yeah, dude, you kind of, yeah. I'm dumbfounded by it. It's like, it's the guy that's digging the hole, not realizing, he hasn't left himself a way out of it, but he keeps digging. If you don't like it, stop crying about it and quit messaging me. It's not emotional because we don't need you and you have a shot attitude. For bands like us, it ain't no fucking garage band. Well, yeah, because you don't even have a garage to rehearse in, bro. That's what you're asking for because you can't even fucking afford that, you dumbass. You're doing guitar videos by yourself in your bedroom. In fact, while we're on that, why don't you make your bed and clean it up? Why don't you get an angle that's not showing your bed, bro? Clean your shit up, dude. As Jordan Peterson says, clean up your bedroom. Anyway, this ain't no fucking garage band. You're a team player, hardcore, or fuck off. You aren't here to be liked by, we aren't here to be liked by you. This is a business from talented people. I'm going to go ahead and include the link so anybody who wants can let me know how talented this gentleman is. The funny part is he's going to probably get extra hits because of it, but that's fine, dude. There's a lot of dumb shit out there that's got lots of hits. This business from talented people, it's hard to jump through all hoops we require. But if you make, you are our brother. You, sir, are not and never will be. We have nothing else to say to you. He has nothing else to say, but then without me writing anything, follows up with another email. You might think I'm a dick, but others might call it leadership and respect. Unrespect it. I call 100% bullshit on that statement right there. Show me anybody. Have anybody read this list of things, and tell me that that's leadership and that they would respect this guy. In fact, if any of you can actually give me a real reason why that's the case, I'll take this thing down, I will call the guy, and I will apologize to him. I'll do a live stream apology to this guy and claim him the ultimate leader of the world. Either way, we don't need you one way or the other. There's nobody on this planet that's going to give you a contract, no matter how much you think you're worth, without seeing what you can do on their material. Again, complete bullshit. In fact, most of the gigs I get are people checking me out. We have a conversation, very unlike what I'm having here with this guy. And then they send over the contract. I check it out. I hit them up, let them know if it seems like a legit deal for everybody, and then we'll go ahead and schedule audition. If I don't already have the gig outright because they hit me up, because they checked out what I've done, and they know that I'm going to be a good fit. So, you have one way of doing things, bro, and it's a bad way. And so don't push the fact that you have an idea that's a bad idea and the rest of the world must not have come up with anything better. Most of the world appears to be smarter than you, particularly in the realm of professional musicians. That's why you, instead of getting a band together and working, are still here writing me at what I think is like 2 o'clock in the morning. Moving on. Keep thinking the way you do and play by yourself or teach drums for a living. Well, I mean, that's a decent living. I mean, I know a lot of people that teach music for a living, and they're happy because they can count on their job. They know when they're getting up. They know when they need to be at work. They know when they're getting home. They can actually plan the rest of their life around it. Touring musicians is great, but it does make a lot of interpersonal relationships a little difficult, and you're on the road a lot. You're not hanging with your friends, which if you're teaching at a college or something like that, is pretty much like any other day job. So, yeah. This is a fucking live band. This job is, or for you. Grammar, dude! Like, 10% of what you're writing is just horrible. And a job it is along with all fringe benefits. Fringe benefits of not getting paid, of paying you to record, and of providing you places to play. And don't you ever forget who the writers are. If you don't like our songs, then write them yourself. Well, I do. I work with other people, and if you're talking about, oh, you're going to be our brother and in it, but then you start talking about it being our songs, well, which one is it? Is it that they're your brother and it's our songs, or is it your songs, dude? You're saying two fucking drastically different things. It's completely hypocritical, and I don't know how you don't see that. Are you just frantically typing whatever comes to your mind and not reading it before you send it? You ever heard that thing where they say, right, if you have an emotional appeal to something and you write a letter that you want to sleep on it, reread it the next day and send it? And so you don't do stupid shit like this, bro. Moving on. You can play with yourself as well. Oh, all right, whatever. So me. This is, you have a real eloquent way with words there, Shakespeare. You got anything else, Stephen Hawkins? Obviously, you never looked at my website, which you should have before even contacting me. Call it leadership if you want. You don't even know how to do basic research when it is already done for you and handed to you. My website was on the ad, as well as the first 3 emails that I sent to you. You hit me up first, seeking my services, not the other way around. Then you get shitty when I ask fundamental questions. I wish you no ill will, but get a grip, sir. And so that, me saying that, then you get shitty when I ask a fundamental question, when I ask fundamental questions. That's the first time I swore. I was trying to be as truth as possible, and keep my calm. But it's getting to the point where he's calling me out and just saying lots of really dumb stuff. So then I apologize. When I said I woke up the next morning, no, that was earlier in the day, and then later at night I got those. That was where I finished that, saying I wish you no ill will, but get a grip, sir. So then the next morning I get the last 2 of these, which is, this is from Ben again. Why would I look at your website? Okay, before reading this, why would you look at my website before looking up a drummer that you want to hire? You find my ad, says I'm a drummer, here's a website that has all of my info, videos, and all that. Has pretty much everything that you would want to know about me before asking me to do any of the things you did. But you didn't do that. You have 3 links that you want me to check out about your band, but you won't look at the one of mine that immediately shows my rates, has my videos, shows who I am. I mean, is that not stupid? I mean, what other synonyms do we want to use? I'll let everybody else fill them in. This is a Mad Lib if you want to do it. Carrying on. So, why would I look at your website? We want the best of the best, and Rondo that we need to weed through 1,000 Deutschbag, again, spelling, Deutschbags, and your attitude sucks. Because I ask questions about the band and the gig. Don't make fun of my mannerisms. You are uncouth. And no, we did not require your services. It was an ad for an audition, not to pay you for anything. If you didn't want the opportunity, why did you reply? I replied because you said you needed a drummer. I asked you how much. You said you had a contract. I asked if you could send the contract. That is exactly... Explain what anybody else should have done with that information. Seriously, bro, you're either a troll or Oscar the Grouch looking for an online email fight. That's what he's saying to me. Nobody is going to pay you to audition, buddy. Never asked that. I wanted the contract that he said he had in the very first email and how much money was going to be offered on said contract. The contract is once you get the gig, by the way, dude. Do you not know how an audition works, bro? You audition people, you give them the gig, and then you pay them. I'm well aware of that. But you have to have a rate ahead of time because people like me aren't going to do it for free. And you need to be able to provide them with something that says, hey, we're offering you a gig. And then they evaluate, is it worthwhile to maintain their level of lifestyle or may even be an upgrade to their lifestyle. If it's a depreciation, they're probably not going to do it. And thus, that's why they ask you, what are you offering? You want the position? You apply just like everybody else. It's just like a job because this is a business. Oh, wow, he just made my point for me and totally went against what he just said. As long as it's my music you'll be drumming to, here he goes again, it's his music, it's not going to be the band's music. That makes me the boss of who I decide stays and goes. So again, I'm going to be a brother, but you're still the guy who decides. That's like dad being like, yeah, you're all my sons, but if you fucking piss me off, I'm going to kill you. You're my kid. But I'll kill you without thinking about it. That may seem harsh to you, but this isn't a garage band. Again, because you don't even have a garage to practice in. Bedroom boy. You come with an attitude like that, and you'll be sitting there for years with your fancy web page nobody looks at or contacts you on because you think you're entitled to paid services for your session work. Again, making an assumption based on something that he didn't look into, even though he was provided all the information. The homework was done for him. All he had to do was click the link. You lazy fuck. And you're not. No part of my ad said anything about paid session work. Joe Nagel said something. I posted this on Facebook. Said something about a facepalm moment that everybody's doing. And yeah, that when it gets to that, it's just like, dude, you've already left the ballpark, dude. The fucking game is in the third inning, and you're halfway home, dumbass. Then the final one of this string, and there may be more to follow. We'll see. But I'm going to finish this up with, you can set up a set of 5-gallon buckets on a street corner and drum for pocket change and beer money by yourself. You'll never touch our band. No, I won't. No, I'm going to stay as far the fuck away from it as I can, dude. I'm sorry you put so much time and effort into your instrumental skill only to find out it's worthless because of your shit attitude. Sure, dude. Sure, I'm failing and you're winning. I can't wait to see where your band is at. Ever. And then the last thing he says, it has nothing to do with us. No, man, you're right. It has everything to do with you, Mr. Ben Jackson. Like, there's too much to even break down in this. I mean, you were just so out of your league. You're so deluded. You're so narcissistic. You're living in a fantasy world. And I don't think that there's any help for you. I'm not putting this up in order to help you. I'm putting this up in order to, make people realize that there are dipshits like you out in this world, and to try to just avoid you, and hopefully not carry on these conversations unless they're like me. As most people know, I'm not afraid of controversy. I'm not afraid of conflict. You know, I did my time in the Army, combat arms as it would be. And, this kind of shit doesn't scare me. I love this shit. Most people probably don't, and that's good. I don't wish that upon them. This energy is probably spent better places. But, I hope this sheds some light on some of the just complete idiocracy and hypocrisy that is permeating a lot of the lower tiers of the music industry and what's making it difficult for some people. So, thanks for listening to this. I apologize. This is really fucking long. I can't believe it ended up being over 20 minutes, but it was so silly. I just had to do it. Again, I apologize that I'm not all pretty this morning, but I'm sitting here and it just struck a chord and I had to do it. So, but anyway, that's just my opinion. I'll check you guys later. Y'all have a good week.